Welcome back to the New Zealand Campus of Innovation and Sport. It is day 2 of the 2024 World Wheelchair Rugby Paralympic Qualifying Tournament. On day 1, Germany got their tournament off to a great start, defeating Colombia. Australia beat Switzerland, Canada beat Brazil, and Netherlands beat the home nation New Zealand, breaking home hearts here. A real tough one for them. The Wheel Blacks can turn it around today. They're going to face Brazil a little bit later on, another team that is ranked below them in the world, and they really need to get a victory on the board if they're going to secure one of 3 berths for Paris and the Paralympics. But before that, we're going to start off with a Central European derby. As you can see behind me, Germany about to take on Switzerland in match 1 of the day. And here we are, ready to get going, as you can see, in 3 minutes and 30 seconds time. On the right, Germany, it's a little bit confusing today. Germany playing in almost Swiss red. They're over there towards the right as we look at it on the screen. And then on the left, you have the Swiss playing in right. So that's right royally going to confuse me today. Germany, who usually play in white or occasionally black, and then they're playing in red today. And then the Swiss on the other side playing in white. Germany having kicked off with a win, 58-51 over Colombia. This is Group A action. And then the Swiss, 60-40, they went down against Australia, but there's absolutely no shame in that. That's in Group A. And then in Group B, the big upset yesterday was Netherlands defeating New Zealand 44-36. That really puts the host nation up behind the 8 ball, as it were, in terms of qualification. And then Canada defeated Brazil 57-39. My name's Drew Lilly. Alongside me, I have wheelchair rugby player and wheelchair athlete, multi-sport athlete, Amanda Lowry. It was the first day of the tournament yesterday. How did you find the standard of the various teams?
It was incredible to watch. I mean, the energy that they all bring to the pitch is just out the gate. Like, if you were here, you would just be buzzing if you could come and watch. And if you have time and you're in Wellington, please get down here.
Looking at the Swiss lineup, and the big thing for Switzerland is that they've never really had a high pointer. The highest they've got is 2.5. That's Armin Dautai and Jeremy Genal. And that means that you have to play a different kind of rugby.
Yeah, so that kind of lineup is more of a balanced lineup. It just means you have more hands on court, but basically if the other team brings on like a high-low where you've got some real powerhouses, it's quite hard to defend against that kind of lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out here today.
Germany with a far more balanced lineup, and the great thing for Germany is they have Britta Kripke and Mascha Mosel, so they have 2 female players. And that means that you get a little bit of a bonus if you have either or indeed both of them on the court.
Yeah, so it's great with wheelchair rugby because when you have a female player, you get an extra 0.5. You can play over points. So that team, if they brought on both of those women onto the court, would get to play with 9 points rather than 8 in terms of their functionality. So it's a real win.
Speaking of women on court, for the officials for this first match, we have Tasmin Haynes of Australia, Jacqueline Rowley of Canada, and then Cam Broadhead, another Canadian. So those are the 3 officials that we have looking after this match for us. Group A action, day number 2, match number 2 for both of these teams. Germany looking to cement at least second spot in their group, but you would expect Australia to be the runaway leaders of this group at the end of the day after everyone has played everyone else, all 4 teams in this group. And the Swiss desperately looking for a way back in. If they can beat Germany today and then beat Colombia, they could finish second in the group. So it's Germany who win the tip-off, and their number 1 there, Marco Herbst, fires the ball forward, manages to find Stefan Wecker, and that's Germany on the board 1-0.
Kripke is a really efficient low pointer.
Armin Dautai fires that one over to Roger Frey, playing this tournament without his glasses. So the assumption is that he's got his contact lenses in. Wecker to Wilke, and a great pass there forward to Herbst. Wilke to Herbst is a real combination for the Germans. Four periods of 8 minutes each. You can see the scoreboard top left of your screen, and then the 4 and 2 that we have there. As the Swiss desperately tried to get the ball forward. You have 12 seconds to get it over the halfway line. They just about did that. Roger Frey picks that one up and gets it out to Dautai, and that's an excellent pass there. So the 4 and the 2 that you can see there, that's 4 30-second timeouts that can be taken by players on the floor, and we'll discuss those when the tactics come into play a bit later on, and then the 2 are the coaches' timeouts that last for 1 minute. The teams matching one another score for score at the moment. It's a little along the lines of tennis. You're expected to score on your own possession, so like tennis on your own service. And if there's a turnover, then that's the equivalent of a break of service. Is this going to be a turnover here?
Yes. So Germany's got the ball. Off to Wilke.
Before it was Wilke to Herbst, there it's Herbst to Wilke, and that is the first break of service, as it were. Germany extending that lead, getting the first turnover. Great pass there, and Dautai picks that one up well, but he's got a lot of attention around him. Jeremy Genal, the number 9, comes in. Germany well set up now in front of the key. That's the paint there. You can see all 4 of them either in or in front of it. Genal tries to get a channel. That's fired over the top to Dautai, and he just gets over. That was very patient from the Swiss.
Yeah, it looks like he just took a hit as well.
You've got 40 seconds in which to score, and I think the Swiss took 38 or 39 of those there. It's probably not quite that much. You tend to hear the bench counting down in whichever language it is. It'll be Swiss-German for the Swiss. They're predominantly, in fact, I think they're all German speakers in the team, so they'll be speaking their Swiss-German dialects. The Germans, German, obviously. Brazil in Portuguese, the Colombians in Spanish, the Dutch in Dutch. So we're going to learn how to count down from 6 to 1 in all sorts of languages while we're here.
Loving it. Germany's playing, there's a lot of space. It's a nice use of a screen there. It's popped around the back.
Inbound from
ball.
Yves Langhart.
It's stolen.
And it's a turnover. Amanda, you play for the Bay of Plenty Steamrollers in the New Zealand club competition. You're a low pointer.
I am.
Is inbounding ever your responsibility?
I'm an inbounder.
Yeah.
It doesn't go that far, but it's nice and accurate. That's the key.
It must be quite a... It's a big responsibility, inbounding.
It is, because the minute that you turn it over, the minute it goes to the other team, it's just a point. You can pretty much guarantee you lose the ball, there's a point.
And it's all on you.
It's all on me. Yep.
Yeah. But it isn't all on you. So the inbounder here, it's not all on the inbounder to throw a Hail Mary the length of the court. You need your teammates to come and give you options, and they need to be able to release themselves from any traps, and at the same time the opposition's trying to limit your scope.
Absolutely, it's about trying to create imbalances on the court. So you want your low pointers to be taking out a threat player and giving themselves space. So then that's my role, is to roll on and create space to get my high pointers across the line. So it's just absolutely like violent chess, strategic and dynamic. It's brilliant.
Violent chess, there
Yes,
we go.
there you
Okay,
go.
well, the sport was originally called murder ball.
And then there's
There's a little flip over. One of the Swiss players is on the deck. And it is the unmistakable figure of Armen Dautai. Flip back up. There's Adi Moser in the background. He's the player coach, but as you can see, he's got his beanie on, tracksuit top. And so he's going to be more coach than player. They're missing Dave MZ, the Swiss team. He's been their captain and talisman for a number of years. Again, just a mid-pointer. Switzerland only seem to do mid-pointers. They can't seem to find a high pointer anywhere, what they would give for a 3 or a 3.5. But Dave MZ is taking a break from the sport at the moment, spend more time with his family. And this being down here in New Zealand, it's a long trip as well for the players taking time off work. He's a motivational speaker when he's not playing wheelchair rugby. So, Dave, I hope you're watching. It'll be, what time is it? It's probably 10 o'clock at night, so I'm sure he'll be watching this. So, Dave, Swiss wheelchair rugby misses you and is looking forward to you coming back, but we hope you're having a good time with your family at the moment. Switzerland find themselves 3 points adrift. Roger Frey pins back his ears.
whoops.
Great pick up from Langhart there. Chenal boxed in.
What was that, a reach? What do we got?
I think we've had a reach. The
Wilke?
And Josko Wilke has indeed been sent to the box by Cam Broadhead, the referee. So you can see Wilke there. He is now going to be stuck in the box for either a minute or until the Swiss score. So the Swiss 4-on-3, power play for them. And Roger Frey takes his time, making sure that his teammates can set up, because as soon as you score, attack turns to defence, much along the lines of basketball. I do like violent chess.
It's good, isn't it?
So originally it was murder ball, and then the Paralympic committee said, please come and join us, but we can't be giving out medals for murder ball. Is Kripke going to get there? Is Wecker going to get there? He's gone through the advertising hoardings. And I don't think he was in control of the ball. He needed a bit of backspin on it. He goes
over the line
before he was in control. So you need to be in control of the ball before your wheels go over the line. So that's the equivalent of a turnover for Switzerland.
A lot of pressure on the Swiss.
The thing is, without a high point, they're never going to be able to score any quick breakaway points. And you saw how quickly the number one there, Marco Herbst, got back for Germany. So the Swiss forced to be patient every time to set themselves up. There's 12 on the shot clock. You can see the shot clock there in the middle of your screen, 9 seconds.
And Kripke just pushed out of court there.
So that is a penalty try for the Swiss.
She's in the sin bin.
Not a penalty try, therefore, because the Swiss weren't in the act of scoring a try. So that means that Kripke goes to the bin. 4-on-3 again. Good inbound there from Langhart to Genal. Boxed in. That reset the shot clock. And there we go. An easy enough score for Switzerland, and they've got this deficit back to just 1 point. Wilke needs to bounce it every 10 seconds. Needs to remember to do that, because at the moment he's thinking just about getting it over the halfway line. So he did the 2-in-1 there. bounced and got it over the halfway line. 10 seconds, every 10 seconds you need to bounce, and 12 seconds to get over the halfway line, and some beautiful screens run there, particularly by Wilke, and that allowed Veke to get through.
Nice long pass into free space for a change for the Swiss.
That's the quickest and easiest point they've scored thus far. A huge pass forward there. And that's the great thing about having a 3.5. It's not just for the speed, but the trunk strength that they've got. They can throw out passes like we just saw from Marco Herbst.
And it's more difficult to trap them as well because they can wiggle out of traps. They've got so much more control than lower functioning players.
Now we had a timeout called by Roger Frey. There he is, the number 3. That's a very fresh haircut, as the youngsters would say. That's good grief, that's a number 1. That's a short back and sides, as we used to say when I was a youngster, but that's a number 1 all round. Adi Moser is the one going through the X's and O's with them. Player coach. Behind, standing up, is Chris Hardy, who is their official coach. And then over on the left-hand side there, we saw Christoph Werner, who's the coach for Germany. We're down into the last 80 seconds, so this is where timestamps are going to come into play. I think Frey took the time out there to make sure that he was boxed in, so he wasn't going to get the ball over the halfway line within 12 seconds. So now this is when the Swiss are going to try to score at a certain time in order to have the last possession. Teams want the last possession because you can score and your opponents have no time to reply. So you've got a 1-point jump on them.
Fast try.
Scored quickly by Herbst, and that means, as you can see, 46.7 seconds left on the clock. So even if the Swiss take 40 seconds to score, and they are a patient team, slow scorers, slow and steady wins the race. The clock doesn't start until it's been inbounded and touched. So even if Switzerland take all 40 seconds here, Germany will have at least 6.7 seconds in which to try to score the last try and score a quick one.
Beautiful.
Well, they're now going to have 37.2 seconds. So Germany, if they like, they can take all their time and try to score the last try. They are also going to get possession at the start of the second quarter. You can see the big red arrow to the left of your screen in the center now on the table. And that means that they will get possession for the second quarter.
And they end up being 2 points up just by playing the clock well.
Exactly. Well, it's 2 and it could be 3. So they're going to run the clock down here a little bit. So they've left Switzerland 6.3 seconds in which to score. But as we've seen, the Swiss, they haven't got a high pointer, so they can't have a huge inbound. And they can't... Oh, they make sure you don't give it away. That is huge for Wilke. Huge for Germany. It's a 3-point lead, and they'll also get possession at the start of the second quarter. Little delay in play. Armin Dautai being talked through something by Tasmin Haynes. Dautai saying he's going to inbound. The Germans swarming. They've already picked it off once, and it just... That was almost what Team GB call hands in pockets time, which is just don't give any fouls, don't give the ball away. But Germany, with that late break, they lead 15-12 at the end of the first quarter. back for the second quarter. You can see the clock counting down. It is Switzerland who are going to get possession, so they'll be hoping to score the first point, obviously, but there was a real swing towards the end of the first quarter. The Swiss could have kept it to 2 points or even scored on with the last possession of the first quarter. They could have been 1 point behind and poised to make it level, but there was that giveaway. We talk often about time stamps and trying to get the last score, trying to score as late as possible or at certain times, but the most important thing is score or don't be scored against.
Like any game, really.
It is. It's not the scoreboard that tells it's not the clock that tells the tale at the end of the match. It's the scoreboard.
Great.
Wilke, clean set of wheels there.
Yeah, great pace.
He's a youngster. He's just 23 years old. But he's a great asset to the team already.
Another turnover.
All seems to be becoming a little bit unravelled for the Swiss.
Lots of pressure on their hands.
The two teams sticking with their starting lineups.
There's been a reach.
And it's Marco Herbst who is going to go into the bin. Means that Germany are currently, well, they're going to be playing with a mere 5 points on the court.
Which makes a bit of space for Swiss just to gain 1 point.
So Switzerland about to score. Are they going to put a trap on Herbst to make sure he can't get out of the bin?
Yes. Setting up there. But nice work by the other screen.
And Herbst is let back out, but the only way of getting out when you're being trapped like that is by telling the officials, I want to be the one doing the inbound.
So when a high point player is trapped anywhere, they just call inbound. That means it puts them in a bit of a dodgy position because they have to then throw it in, and they could be trapped on the line.
Exactly, it means you've still got that 3.5 off the court because they're having to inbound and then can be trapped by other players. So Switzerland have made a change. Christian Hanel has come on, the number 2.
And then what happened is the player 9 just got knocked into the 1 metre space. So when you're inbounding, no players can be within 1 metre. So there's been a turnover.
Genal was the one who was pushed in there. So clever play by the Germans. A little bit of inattentiveness there from Genal. So another turnover for Germany. They're doing the little things. We've said the Swiss have been patient in their way of scoring. Germany haven't really been able to play the kind of game we saw them come up with against Colombia. But they've still managed to score points.
And number 10's just been done for reach.
So Michukov has come on for Switzerland as well as Hanel, replacing Roger Frey and Armin Dautai. And Michukov into the bin. So things are just going Germany's way at the moment.
And they're setting up now for the next inbound, taking out those high point players, those functional players, which will make it really tough for Switzerland to get it in cleanly.
There we saw Michukov, the number 10, putting his hand up saying, I'll do the inbound, so let me out of the trap. That's as easy and straightforward a point as we've seen Switzerland score all day. It's the benefit of having Michukov on the inbound, strong inbounder. Three on one there, and
Yeah, Kripke taking out that high point player, keeping them right up court.
I think she took out 3 in a row there.
Yeah, so you've got the Swiss key players being held up. It's called back picking. Keep them in the back court.
Arnold to Frey, and
Dangerous.
wow, was lucky. They've still got to get the ball over the halfway line within 12 seconds. And that's why you could hear the countdown.
And not over. Must have been German hands in there that knocked it out. They've got another chance.
That gives them time to get it over the halfway line. Doesn't reset the shot clock though, so they've got a limited amount of time to score, but Genal manages to do that.
Weiss, he's got pace for a 2-pointer. He's really quick.
He has. He's a really quick 2.0, isn't he? Genal being blocked there, the number 9. And you've got 10 seconds in which to inbound. And that was always going to be a bit of a throw and hope, but Genal did very well to corral that.
And he just had to call time. He was about to be pushed out of court then. So good timing by the Swiss.
Swiss timing.
I love that.
Anyone would think it was proverbial.
Oh, too good.
Adi Moser, he's a low pointer himself, 1.5, and you can see that from the chairs. We're getting a good look at some of the chairs there, and there are different types of chairs depending on what kind of role you have in the team.
Yeah, what kind of function you have. So low point players have got the ones with the pick bars out the front there, and they're the ones for trapping and screening, and the rounded front are just for barging and, you know, Mad Max without the mohawks kind of look.
Adi Moser is a 1-pointer, but he's not got a 1-point chair that he's sitting in, so I think that's another indication that he's only going to be coaching and not coming on, other than the fact that he's wearing a tracksuit top, a coat, a beanie, a scarf, a pair of gloves, a hot water bottle.
And Swiss just hit the cone then on the way out, so leaving the court, no try.
And you can see there's the proof that the cone was hit. Just being replaced by Cam Broadhead. So Germany now with the inbound, but it's an awkward place to inbound from. They've got the turnover, but it's never easy to inbound from the corner, is it?
Especially when you get trapped in there like that. Look, beautiful.
12 seconds to get it over the halfway line. Done.
Kripke just blocking any of the offence.
Any and all.
Yeah. She's a lethal weapon, that one.
Unsung heroes, the low pointers, aren't they? Obviously, I'm preaching to the converted here.
They absolutely make all the high pointers look good.
A breakaway for Switzerland. But they find themselves 5 points adrift. Wecker comes back for the inbound. Germany sticking with their main 4. Filke, bit of a play action fake. It would be in the NFL if that's what the quarterback did. Faked to go over the top, or a pump fake probably in basketball is more accurate an analogy. We do have a lot of analogies for other sports here, and it's not to take anything away from wheelchair rugby. It's because I know that a lot of people watch a lot of other sports, and there are a lot of comparisons that can be made with other sports. Obviously the best comparison is violent chess.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm getting that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, all the way. Look, Vilka, beautiful work there. Screen. The screens just make the space for the high pointers to run free.
Much along the lines of the offensive line in NFL, in gridiron. You have the blockers who are there, and then the quarterback can throw a pass to a receiver.
Lucky to get across half. Now he's trapped in the corner. Off Germany, luckily.
Did well to get it away, and then Michukov almost got possession of it. It bounced out of his grasp and then off a German wheel. So second bite of the cherry for Switzerland. Michukov over the top to Frey. Frey's been the outlet for them. Wecker it is, who weaves this way and that.
He's got some great pace as well.
Speaking of weaving this way and that, they have their flag bearer with them.
Nice play there.
Frey is managing to get himself free, if you'll pardon the expression. Frei meaning free in German. He seems to be managing to get himself free on a regular basis. So no foul called, but there's a contact warning, I think, against Britta Kripke. That ball was going to run loose, is going to run loose.
And the low point has stopped the German player from picking it up. So
yes.
So Swiss ball.
Hanel there, getting in the way of Wilke, who couldn't pick that one up.
And pretty much in this game, every turnover means an opportunity for a try.
Timeout call there again by Roger Frey, because he was going to be pushed over the line. So before he could be forced into taking the ball out of play and committing a turnover, he calls another timeout. So as you can see there on the scoreboard, 20-25, that's the most important thing. That's all that counts at the end of the day. But then you have 1, 2 and 4 too. So Germany haven't used any of their 4 timeouts, the floor timeouts, or indeed the 2 coaches' timeouts. Switzerland have used 3 of theirs. They haven't used any of their subs either. That's the starting lineup. Switzerland, we've seen Hanel, Frey, Genal, Michukov, Langhart, Dautai. We could well see Samuel Schwarz come on. Joel Jung likely to come on as well. Patrick Gosteli hasn't featured, and it's unlikely that Adi Moser will.
Nice pass over the top there. Weiss.
Look at the Germany bench there. You can see them all rugged up, as we say down here. Literally, I think there we go. They're desperately trying to keep warm there.
I didn't see why player 2 ended up in the sin bin, but Swiss ball.
Wecker takes his time. They're not going to bother putting a trap on Hanel. You can see there, got the classification on the back of his chair. Remember, got the 12 seconds.
And there's no Swiss players over half yet. Another timeout called because they weren't going to make it.
Well, timeouts, you can't take them with you, so it's pointless keeping them in the bag.
And pretty much every time you call one, you save a goal.
Yes, you need to make sure when you take a timeout that you convert it into a point afterwards. So as you can see, Switzerland 0-2. They've used all 4 of their floor timeouts.
And then Germany just keying up, save on energy. Also, they're really good at it.
All 4 of them either in or in front of the key. You can't have all 4 in the key. That, unsurprisingly, is called 4 in the key. And is an offence. Genal tries to push his way through. Kripke says nothing doing.
And if the offensive players get held in the key for more than 10 seconds, it's a foul.
In the end, it's Michukov who springs the lock.
Look, Kripke, look at the screening there, beautiful.
I want violent chess on a T-shirt. I think you want a Britta Kripke jersey, don't
I
you?
do. I've got the fan club. She's just so smart on court. Yep, they're going to make this one. Switzerland just taking their time. Why is the ball?
Why not?
I was thinking,
it was one of those you think, hang on, what's going on? But you can just put the ball down.
You can?
Yep.
And turnover.
Oh, incredible there from Wilke to get the ball out. And Herbst.
49 seconds left on the clock.
Yes, Herbst absolutely flew down there in order to make sure that there are, you ideally want to score with 55 left on the clock, because then even if your opponents take 40 seconds, you're going to have 15 in which to score from the last possession. So that's what Germany were doing there. 10 seconds in which to inbound. The clock now starts once it's been touched by another player or a chair.
And so there are the high point players being held out of play by 2 of the other lower point players, putting a lot of pressure.
Yes, Genal was boxed in there. So Germany with 36 seconds. What they might try to do is run the clock down, either using all 36 seconds or using one of their timeouts, which resets the shot clock to 15 seconds.
Yep, looks like what you just said. Look at that. Taking their time.
Of course, the most important thing is to score. Nine, 8, 7, and it got down to 7,3, 7.3. So Switzerland with 7,3 in which to score, and how about that? Oh, the problem was that the outlet for them was Hanel.
Oh, that was close. The Hail Mary.
It was a Hail Mary, 2 Hail Marys. The latter, a huge one from Herbst. There we see Hanel couldn't quite corral that one. He's a low pointer. So at the end of the first half, going into the big break, Germany lead the Central European derby 29-23 over Switzerland. back we are after the big break, the 10-minute break. It's the first match of the day, day 2 at the 2024 World Wheelchair Rugby Paralympic qualifying tournament. Switzerland 23, Germany 29. Switzerland in white, Germany in red, just to confuse things. Usually it's the other way round. And there have been some changes for Germany. So they are running out a different lineup. The Swiss have gone back to the well as well. They've got more or less their starting lineup. But they've also got Adi Moser out there, number 5. There he is. I was saying earlier that he was unlikely to be coming on, but you can see he's actually in a different chair. He's in his game chair now. And he's the one who got the ball out to Genal. Genal to the unmistakable bald head and beard of Armand Dautai. Germany, they have brought out Moritz Bruckner. We saw him in the first game. Marco Herbst on the ball at the moment. He's still out there. He's the kind of player that wants to be out there all the time. Gets the ball to Josko Wilke, the number 5.
There's been a reach, I think, there by number 10.
And otherwise, Florian Bongard has come on, number 21 for Germany. So that's their lineup now. No Britta Kripke. So they're having to play 8 as opposed to 8.5 points.
There was almost a back over half then with that receive. He almost got knocked back over the line, which would have been a turnover.
Yes, once you've taken the ball into the front court, you can't take it back into the back court. Not something you would want to do, but an opponent might make you do it by bashing you back there. Michukov. So Switzerland going with Michukov, Moser, Genal and Dautai. Genal getting some running repairs. Very technical stuff there. Just bash just bit of panel beating there.
Boot it. She'll be right. Good old Kiwi phrase.
There we go. Wilke comes back. Such speed and mobility for a 2.0.
Yeah, really. Using a screen beautifully.
And the Herbst gets over. Germany with a 7-point lead.
So lots of this is about chair position. If you get chair position, even if you don't have speed, you can block those players. You can keep them out of the game. Lucky. Dautai
to Genal. That was very close to being a turnover. Genal there, making sure he doesn't go back over the line. So an over and back, as Amanda Lowry was just saying.
Beautiful pass.
Dautai waiting in the key. Obviously 10 seconds is the maximum an attacker can spend in that paint there.
Too much pressure by those two players blocking him out, which was great.
So Switzerland with a sniff of an opening here. Great work by Michukov and Dautai. Moser with the inbound. 10 seconds in which to inbound. The clock doesn't start until one of your teammates, or indeed an opponent, touches it, or their chair.
They've come out with a bit of fierceness in the second.
Taking the time once again. 15 seconds left in which to score. You can see the shot clock, 13, 12, 11, ticking down there to the left of your screen. So Switzerland reducing the deficit here.
Look at that. Trying to keep them down.
be a little bit of, obviously, Switzerland and Switzerland has 4 official languages, but the main one, 2/3 of the country speaks German. After that, you have about 20% French, 8 to 9% Italian, and then there's a very small dialect that's quite similar to Italian, that is Romansh or Reto-Romanish, but primarily German. And the thing is, the type of German that the Swiss speak, Germans don't understand it. If there is a Swiss film on German TV, it has to be subtitled because they won't understand it, and it takes Germans about 3 months to understand Swiss German. So if the Swiss talk in their dialect, then the Germans won't understand them. Whereas the Swiss people, you can't write Swiss German, so everything has to be written in High German, the German that Germans speak, as the ball is lost there.
A penalty goal. Oh, in the bin. Wilke.
So Wilke reached in there and committed the foul, so it's a penalty goal, a penalty try for the Swiss. No, it isn't, because Wilke's gone in the bin. So
apologies, yep.
So they'll score from this one and get the benefit of it while Wilke's in the bin. So yes, the Germans, whatever they say, the Swiss will understand, because Swiss people have to understand High German, proper German, but the opposite won't apply. So if the Swiss have got some tactics, they can just say it in their dialect, and the Germans won't get it.
And Wilke having to inbound because he would have been trapped on the line then. And the low pointer just perfect.
Inbounds it very nicely to Moritz Bruckner, who we saw in action in the first match when they defeated Colombia. Herbst trying to knock Genal out of play and also prevent him from getting it over the halfway line. Now, what we need to remember here is that the Swiss have no timeouts left. They have 2 coaches' timeouts, but the coach can't call that while play is going on. That's only in a dead ball situation, so the Swiss can't stop play. Referee's calling a halt to proceedings. And it's Herbst going into the box. That's 3.5 points on the sidelines.
Which is helpful for Switzerland.
Herbst says, let me out. And that means he has to take the inbound because he'd been trapped by a Swiss low pointer.
And a steal then. But it's still inbound for Germany. Knocked out of play.
Swiss have reduced the deficit to 5. It was 6 at the start of this second half. It's down to 5. They haven't got a turnover from this, but they've still forced an awkward inbound.
But their threat's being trapped down there.
Jeremy Genal is the one being sent to the box there for reaching in. Herbst this way and that. Taking his time. That way his teammates can set up. And the setup is 2 of them blocking a couple of Swiss players. One of them, Adi Moser, the number 5 player coach, puts his arm up and says, I'll do the inbound, and that way he's out of the trap. Ooh, that was tight, that one, wasn't it?
It was.
It came off. And there we have Moritz Bruckner down but not out.
So the benches rolled to quickly get the player back up on their wheels again.
Yes, the other end of the court. So they had to jog over there. Cone is replaced by Cam Broadhead. Inbound to Wilke. If anyone can get it out of there, Josko Wilke can. Wilke to Herbst.
This is such accurate passing. Even with their long passes, I haven't seen them miss one.
Germany ranked number 9 in the world. 8 teams make it to the Paralympics. 5 have qualified already. From Europe, that's France, the hosts, but they won European qualifying anyway, so that meant that 2 and 3 got through, 2 and 3 being Great Britain, who lost to France in the final, and Denmark, who defeated Germany in the bronze medal match, 53-50. So Germany were just 3 or 4 tries away from getting direct qualification for the Paralympics, but meant they had to come through this last chance saloon that we have here. Otherwise, in Asia Oceania, it was Japan who won the tournament, and that meant that Australia and New Zealand had to come via this tournament as well. And then from the Americas, USA defeated Canada in the final of the Parapan Games. So that meant that Canada and Brazil, who got the bronze medal, defeating Colombia in the bronze medal match, they have to go via this tournament as well. And then there were a couple of wild cards in there as well, and that's the Netherlands and Colombia.
Was that a goal?
Goal's been given.
And not seen as an illegal hit, so he didn't get binned. Must have just been the pace that he hit him.
So what is a legal hit and what is an illegal hit?
I'll just hit it. If you tap behind the wheel at pace, the chances are the chair will go over. So then it's a proper foul. But with a player with that pace coming at you, if you're late like Wilke, the chances are you're going to go over if he hits you hard enough.
So yes, hitting in front of and behind the axle is the way it's defined.
And even a low point player, if you hit behind the axle of a high point player, you can tip them if they've got pace. So it still gets done, and then you get binned.
For a spinning foul,
yep.
Spinning your opponent and tipping them over.
Oh, out of court. Oh.
Just see there that Michukov's wheel touched the line, exactly where the referee is pointing.
You can't even touch the line. You just have to be clear of it entirely. That was lucky.
Maybe it was a set move.
Do you reckon?
A little tap to you, to me, to you, to me. No, it wasn't a set move at all, was
it?
it?
That looked a bit dangerous.
Yes.
That did not. Look, here we go. So sometimes the player will leave the court just to make the time go faster.
So that's what Adi Moser did there, the one with the inbound. He left the court to make it a penalty try, rather than having time tick off. Germany have got the lead back up to 7. The Swiss got it closer. They reduced the deficit to 5, almost forced another turnover, but Germany have tightened the screws since then.
So going in to just block those dangerous players, limit their ability to move.
Wilke spinning around. Great flexibility. That's his way of bouncing as well, since he needs to bounce the ball. Now time management coming in. As you can see, the clock down to 70 seconds. They'll probably score at, well, they'd ideally like to run it down to 55. You can see there's 15 seconds on the shot clock. 56.4, that's almost ideal. So even if Switzerland take all 40 seconds to score, Germany will have 16.4 seconds in which to make the most of the final possession and get the final score of the quarter. The race is on, and Dautai was always going to have the wheels there on Florian Bongard.
Look at the pace of that low pointer. Number 25.
Moritz Brückner with the inbound.
And Brückner missing it. Opportunity here for Switzerland just to get another point on the clock. 33 seconds to go.
Well, possession has changed, so the shot clock is reset, and the shot clock is now the same as the game clock. The only problem for Switzerland is they can't get the ball out, and they've got no timeouts to take. So that was a held ball, and Switzerland get the possession. However, it means that the next contested possession, which most likely will be at the start of the fourth quarter, will go the way of Germany. So Germany negating the fact that Switzerland would have had possession to start the fourth quarter and likely would have scored from it. So Switzerland very keen to score with this one. Dautai's got to get his wheels over the line. And I do believe that that was...
Number 5 leaving the court, I think.
Looked like it, didn't it? It looked like Adi Moser leaving the court. But the inbound is going to be for Switzerland. Dautai gets it in there, needs to get it accurately, and does so. How about that for Switzerland? Dautai to Schenal. That was a huge point. Bit of a Hail Mary. The clock starts now. Has he got time? Not quite. If anyone could have done it, Herbst could have. But that was a great attempt, but just too late for the score to count. So Germany lead it by 5 points going into the final break, 42-37. Coming back for the fourth and final quarter between Germany and Switzerland. It's the Central European Derby. The Rhine Derby, if you will. The River Rhine that runs along Switzerland and then goes up through Germany.
And Kripke back on. My favourite one-pointer.
There we go.
There you go.
Didn't take you long to spot that one, did it? Where is she? Where is she? Britta's back on.
Yeah.
There she is. So they've gone back to their starting lineup, Germany. We wondered during the break whether they would dig a bit deeper, go into the bench a little bit more, since they're 5 points clear with only 8 points to go, and whether we would see the likes of Mascha Mosel, the other female player that Germany have. But no, they've gone back to the well and gone back to their original starting lineup. Switzerland have a bit of a mixture. Adi Moser is still on, the number 5, who's about to inbound. He's going to inbound likely to Armind Dautai with the big beard, or Jeremy Genal, the number 9, and then Roger Frey has come back on. Frey is down, but the referees are going to let this play out, and as Genal's going to score.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as the play doesn't turn back towards that player, then they won't call it. So they'll just leave it until the goal is scored, or until there's been a turnover.
Good job he's not playing in his glasses, Frey, otherwise they would have come loose there. Veke to Wilke. Wilke and Dautai keeps up with him. Gets that one loose to Veke. Kripke
holding
with the block.
Nice corner open there.
Another assist for your favourite, Britta Kripke.
We've got to stop saying that. It'll just sound wrong. It's just I'm a one-pointer. I'm a 1.5, and yes, I could only wish to be that good.
We'll have to arrange for the on-court you to do the on-court interview at the end of the match and make sure that it's Britta
who chats.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I can sing out the praises of low pointers.
Exactly. Well, I think it's going to be New Zealand Paralympic gold medalist Jai Waite who's going to be doing the on-court interview afterwards, so I'm sure he will sing the praises of low pointers. As we see Mascha Mosel there, she's the one in the middle, but looking unlikely that she's going to come on. There she is, and Christian Riedl is the one to her right, our left there, who's got a big towel around his head. Kripke just getting some running repairs.
Beautiful big pass.
Frey picks it up.
Hail Mary, Weiss.
There we go. Wilke ready to pick that one up.
Weiss means white. Apologies.
Very good. Very good.
My teeny bit of German I remembered from school came in then.
There we go.
By accident.
Switzerland are playing in Weiss and Germany in Rot, in red. Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Perhaps after we can have some fresh geliefert Brötchen.
Oh, well, there we go. There we go. If someone can deliver them freshly, then we will have some bread rolls, yes.
I know. Oh, God.
Yes. I think I'd prefer, well, it's breakfast time, so I think I'd prefer a Gipfel croissant.
With Erdbeere marmalade.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh,
strawberry jam coming in. I am getting hungry now, so...
Oh, it's almost a steal.
Kripke hungry for the ball there, but just couldn't quite pick it up. So Switzerland keeping pace in this final quarter. 5 points adrift. Wecker hemmed in. Wilke. And if anyone can catch that, Herbst can. Herbst, what does that mean?
Herbs? No idea.
There's Frühling, Sommer, Herbst and Winter.
Oh, seasonal thing.
Exactly, so
Loving
he's
it.
autumn.
I'm loving it.
Marco
No.
Autumn, Herbst, there we go.
So we can learn Deutsch while we're sitting here.
Indeed,
It's brilliant.
Christoph Werner, the German coach, has taken a coach's timeout. Switzerland keeping pace with Germany in this fourth quarter. The deficit's still 5 points. Switzerland waiting out there while Werner goes through the X's and O's. And it's going to be the same 5 that go back out there. It's not making any changes. Germany showing Switzerland a lot of respect here. Moser with the inbound to Genal. Dauto with the big one over the top to Frey.
Moser's got a great inbound. It's a good pass on him.
For 1.0, yes, he's incredibly experienced. Moser made his debut at the highest level at the European Championships in 2009. Plays his club rugby for the Zurich Eagles.
Turnover off the back of Moser. Moser, if I'm going to say it correctly.
Very good. Through a lot of sets of hands there, and a great block by Wilke. You could see that Herbst was trying to keep it in because obviously it came off Wilke's hands. So it'll go back in and be a Swiss possession again.
Down the court there, big pass.
Absolutely smacked into one of his teammates there, Maximilian Stolz, I think it was. Wheel change for Armin Dautai.
And at this stage, there's supposed to be a metre difference between the other players. They're supposed to move away.
Herbst coming back and providing the outlet.
But it's gone loose.
Who's going to be able to pick it up? Moser obviously hasn't got the function to corral that. But I think he cleverly managed to bounce it off a German chair. He wasn't going to be able to pick it up, so he knocked it against a German chair.
And all of that is purposeful.
Yes, we're saying he's a wily campaigner, made his international debut at 2007 and then first Euro in 2009. Adi Moser.
So lots of games under his belt.
Roger Frey, a lot younger, he made his international debut in 2020. And then his debut on the big stage, that was in Vejle, Denmark, at the World Championships in 2022.
Beautiful, beautiful screen there by number 3.
Swiss keeping pace here. I keep saying that, they're keeping pace. They need to eat into that lead though. They're 5 points adrift with 4.25 minutes to go.
Weiss lost it and over. So he called timeout before he hit the ground, which means that it isn't a turnover. So you've just got to be thinking as you're falling to call it quickly.
And we're going to see this here. So Wilke picks it up and would have said timeout because it's difficult. You're trying to break your fall, hold on to the ball, call for timeout, and he managed to do all that. Who says that men can't multitask?
Oh, well, this one can, clearly.
Exactly. He's the exception that proves the rule. So
You think?
calls the timeout and maintains possession, and that's why Germany have kept their timeout. So you can see they're down to 3-1. So that was the first timeout Christoph Werner called a coach's timeout, but that was the first floor timeout called by Germany. It means they maintain possession, and that's exactly what you want. 4 floor timeouts remaining when there are only 4 minutes to go in the match and you're nursing a lead. It's absolutely perfect for them. And having someone like Marco Herbst certainly helps as well. Frey, ball over the top to Genal, ball over the top to Dautai.
Dautai's got some good pace on him for a 2.5. He's he's keeping up with the 3.5.
Switzerland with a 5-point deficit and just under 4 minutes to go. They need turnover, score, turnover, score.
And unfortunately, Germany doesn't make many mistakes. The pressure's on a bit now.
It is. That's why Germany have gone back to their starting lineup. Vilke manages to work his way through. And Herbst.
And Moser leaving the court, so penalty goal. And it just hurries it up. It means no one can waste time.
Quick inbound from Moser.
Bounce.
Dautai needs options further forward. Genal, how did he pick that one up? That was excellent.
Beautiful pass. Moser with the ball.
Gets through. How about that for a one-pointer?
Love that. Another fan moment.
Exactly. There we go.
See, look at that.
Yep.
Oh, look.
And Frey ought to be just about quick enough to, no, not quite, to keep pace with Wecker. He was quick enough to keep pace with him, but not to knock him off his trajectory.
It's just keep, if you can get your axle in front of their axle, then you've got an opportunity to stop them. But it's chair position. That means you're gonna get over the line, really.
Quick score for Switzerland is what they need. But they need turnovers, and they need them quickly.
So Moser on the line, stopping their play for coming in.
Vilke, though, is going to let the shot clock run down. Genal almost nudges him over the line, saying, stop taking too much time off the clock. Everyone in a very tight amount of real estate at the moment. Was he in? No, he got it, bobbled it, and then when his wheels went over the line, he wasn't in possession of the ball, Roger Frey.
Must be heartbreaking at that point.
We'll see this again. Yes, no, but when the casters of the front wheel were going over the line there.
The ball was up in the air.
Yes. We can have another sporting analogy. It's almost like cricket, catching it over the boundary, throwing it back up in the air,
yeah,
getting your legs back over inside the boundary rope. Germany taking care of business. So Switzerland not with a score from their possession after Frey bobbled it. Makes amends with that huge pass to Genal. It's going to be too little too late for the Swiss.
Minute 46 left on the clock.
Herbst will quite happily hold on to that for quite some time. Wecker picks it up, rolls it up the side of the angled wheel. Herbst lets the shot clock tick down to 7. 75 seconds to go in this match. Germany have pulled away and are 7 points to the good. This is going to be their second win in Group A. And unless Colombia can come up with a real shock against Australia later on, this will guarantee Germany a spot in the semi-finals. First in Group A will play second in Group B and vice versa. So the likelihood here is that first in Group A will be Australia, second in Group B, Germany. So it could well be that Germany face Canada in the semi-finals. Getting ahead of ourselves there though. Germany running down the clock, and they're going to take a timeout to give themselves another 15 seconds. It's almost like the end of an NFL match where the one team is clear and they know they're allowed 15 seconds for each down, so they just let the first down expire, the second down expire, and then wander off the pitch. Germany running down the clock nicely. And they're going to take another timeout.
Yep.
I think they did a little bit too early there. There's 15.7 left on the clock. Christian Riedel there in his, almost in his cowl, keeping warm. The inbound from Wecker to Kripke. A little give and go. You can hear the bench counting down again. This is going to go to Herbst. Herbst is going to pop over the line.
Or not.
Tries to force it through. Well, they didn't get the score they would have liked, but at least they've run down a good minute off the clock using a couple of timeouts. That's what they're there for at the end of the day. And it's going to be an inbound from the side. And they've still maintained possession. So the inbound, and then once it's touched, the clock will start again. And there we go. They will not quite get the final score, but it's not going to matter. 56 points to 50, or maybe they did get the final score. But either way, congratulations all round from the German team. High fives, low fives. Germany defeat their local rivals, Switzerland 56-50, and all but book themselves a spot in the... Yes, they did get that final point, so 57-50, and all but booked themselves a spot in the semi-finals. They took care of business all the way through.
It was beautiful. It's tidy. They play such a regimented game, you know. But Switzerland really did. They really did make them play well.
They never never really outclassed Switzerland. They were behind from the off, but it never got out of hand. And obviously a few more points for Germany at the end, a few extra points, a few extra turnovers, where Switzerland were really chasing the game and leaving themselves a little bit exposed. We're going to see the final score here, just about getting over the line. It was Adi Moser, and it was a penalty try that gave them the extra point. So Germany winning 57-50. They won their opening match 58-51, so they like these 7-point gaps, Germany. Incredibly consistent from them, so that's 2 victories for them. That pretty much guarantees them a spot in the semi-finals. The other 2 teams in this group, Colombia and Australia. Australia, who defeated Switzerland in their opening match. So Switzerland with 2 defeats, Germany with 2 victories. And these are the matches we have to look forward to today at 12:30, so just over an hour away. Brazil taking on New Zealand. It's a must-win game for the Wheel Blacks. And then back into Group A, Colombia versus Australia. Colombia, it's a must-win game for them. Can they cause the upset of, well, the upset of the tournament? That would be the upset of, in the greatest upset in wheelchair rugby history, perhaps, if they could defeat Australia. And then the Netherlands versus Canada at 6 o'clock today. Switzerland, Germany and Colombia, Australia in Group A. Brazil, New Zealand, Netherlands, Canada in Group B. Of course, Netherlands having defeated New Zealand on day one, 44-36. So New Zealand already behind the 8 ball. They need to defeat Brazil, keep it as tight as they can versus Canada, and then hope that Brazil beat Netherlands, and then we get the slide rules out, the calculators, and work out who's scored how many points against whom. But Germany don't have that to worry about. They have got 2 victories out of 2 already and are 99.9% sure of getting into the semi-finals. Semi-finals, they'll need to get a little bit further than that though. Semi-finals is the last 4, and there are 3 spots up for grabs at the Paralympics in Paris. So the 2 finalists and then the winners of the bronze medal match here will get through. So Germany, they need at least 1 more win at some point.
And they're looking pretty good.
Christoph Werner, high fives all round. And a slap on the back for Josko Wilke. Stefan Wecke didn't go that deep on the bench today, Germany. Herbst, Wilke, Kripke, Wecke. And then we saw a little bit of Moritz Brückner, but that was it. Now it looks like we're going to have a chat. We have Jai Waite, who is down with one of Switzerland's bench players, Samuel Schwarz.
Samuel, second game up for this tournament. Improvements today?
Again?
Second game up today, lost against Germany, but some improvements?
There were for sure improvements. Yeah, we had a better start than yesterday. It was still not good enough starts, but during the game we got better and better.
And for your team, any standouts? Any players that really impressed?
Yeah, for sure. I can't. No standouts. I think the whole team was performing on their level. Yeah, it wasn't enough, but.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jai Waite with Samuel Schwarz there. And we'll hopefully get to speak to one of the German players as well. And indeed, it looks as if Florian Bongard has come over to speak to Jai Waite now. Again, one of the bench players from Germany, but we'll hear from him now.
Florian, good victory today?
Yeah, sure. It was a tough game against Swiss, but we won, and we are now in the semi-finals. That was one of the goals we want to reach, and we got it. Yeah.
And up tomorrow, who have you got?
We got Australia tomorrow, so it will be a tough game about the world champion. But yeah, we do our best.
Well, good luck and thanks, and good luck for tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Said they're in the semi-finals. It's not quite confirmed. If ever there were to be a huge upset and Colombia were to overcome Australia, then that would mean that Germany aren't guaranteed to get in the semi-finals, but I think they can rest easy tonight knowing that they're 99.9% of the way there. 2 wins for them in Group A, 2 defeats for Germany, but we're going to change our focus, and in an hour's time we will have Brazil versus New Zealand. It's, to a certain extent, it's almost a quarter-final. New Zealand absolutely have to win this match against Brazil if they're to have any chance to make it through to the semi-finals. So please join us then in an hour's time.